That was your idea. Thank you, Ocha, for adding that. That was very good. I'm looking for my lighter. I need to light this black candle too. Ocha, you got my lighter.
No. So you got a lighter.
Thank you.
Leo.
Sugar.
I like your chakra bracelet because that's what it is.
Yeah, appreciate it.
With your grounding stones. What's up?
How you supposed to eat this stuff? Like you put the bread and then what?
You can do it where the little the one that look like it's cut in half, it make like a little pocket. So you can really put the chickpea salad, you can put the kale salad in there and then the chickpea salad on top, and then that's really good.
This inside here?
Oh,
that's hard.
or you can eat it on the side, you can eat it separately. You can eat it with the naan bread, make it like a little taco, like a chickpea salad chalupa.
A chickpea salad chalupa.
Yeah, you know chalupas is made from naan. Actually, that's fake news. I don't know what they make chalupas out of, but it feels like naan.
In the clouds.
In the clouds.
You can go ahead.
Yeah. I'm trying to shut this link.
Got me some of them chips is good.
Them sweet potato chips.
Yeah, other kind of chips though. It's in the e-bike link.
It's in the e-bike.
It's just called Cool Telly. You gotta find it.
You know, let me text that.
How to blind you. No,
Yeah.
Who's not?
Okay, I think at 2:15 you can get started. I know we're a little late. DJ, you want to save yourself?
You just do it.
Yeah, you just, want to remove any negative energies from yourself and then maybe call in some spirits or some ancestors that you want to have with you.
Girl, the kale salad is rocking.
It,
you shot some of the
Huh?
Sauce.
I don't know.
you got it. She got it burning. They put the soda inside.
Yeah. Put it on the inside for the kids. I appreciate you. What's the other side?
I think it's on big here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you put it on this side.
a little salt.
I do have some paper. Run little goat cheese, do something for that chickpea salad.
Oh, that what you got in there? Goat cheese.
Really?
There's some goat cheese in there. So that's the thing that don't make where it's not, you know what I'm saying, all the way vegan. Because of that goat cheese. But that part is important.
So it's damn near vegan.
It's damn near vegan.
That's a great name. That is a
Damn
great
near vegan.
name for a line of
it
something.
is. Or a
Damn
restaurant.
near vegan, okay?
Oh, for those people who are transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
That's my partner brand.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, she a vegan. She damn well. She trying to go. She vegan, but it's like it's for that.
Okay.
Where like
For
people
when
that's
you
not
trying to
all the
transition.
way vegan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart as fuck because it's like me. Like I really do want to be vegan. I'm having a hard time transitioning. You know, even though I done did a whole meatless month, I didn't eat no meat at all last month. But I was definitely wanting it. And as soon as the month was over, I definitely went and I had steak last night.
Yeah, steak.
It was delicious. I needed it. Because I woke up this morning still fine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's a part of me that's like, you know, they say they you know, they have different things, but either for your blood type and all those kind of things. So being like O positive, it's supposed to be easier for us to digest meat because we have higher stomach acid or something like that. So if we do want to eat meat, it's not like a terrible thing. Whereas somebody who is with an A blood type are, I think they're more natural.
Yeah.
What does that mean about like the blood type? I don't even know my blood type.
Okay, so your blood type has to do with like antigens. Ain't it antigens?
Yeah.
Antigens that are on your blood cells. And so it'll be like, if you want to look at it, I don't know, they just have like these different antigens hanging off. And if it doesn't go with your actual blood type, it's like that's how your body knows to attack it.
Yeah.
So you know why it's important when you do a blood transfusion is if they pump you with the wrong blood type, then your body gonna start to attack itself. Because it's got this other antigen that's on it that the body doesn't recognize.
But O positive can go anywhere though.
It can go anywhere because there's no antigen hanging off of it, except for it can go with negative blood type.
Yeah.
But O positive can only take O positive
Right.
because if it's an A blood type, then it has that A antigen hanging off of it. So when you put that into the O blood, then
Because O don't have nothing on it, so
O
it
don't
go
have
and just
nothing
get
on
in
it.
it.
And that's why it can go everywhere
Mm-hmm.
because it can slide past everybody's security system.
I think we're all
Yeah.
Really? You
Uh-oh,
O negative.
How you can tell if somebody else?
You get tested.
Yeah. Well, personality traits too.
Really?
You
Yeah.
said what?
All the blood types got personality traits, just like their diet.
Yeah,
just
they
like
do.
the specific diet.
Mm.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
actually.
Everything got everything.
Yeah,
got-
everything like that. That's above, so above.
Right.
What's it look like?
I was trying to see O positive people smarter. I want to be
Give
O
and
positive.
receive.
Well, y'all with y'all. I don't know if you can change that.
No, you can't.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like that question about nature versus nurture.
Alchemy.
Anything can be changed.
But your blood type?
I mean, you can't change your blood type, but that don't necessarily mean you have to have all the characteristics or you can't adapt. You know what I mean?
Dog. You ain't lying. I went off with this chickpea salad.
I'm thinking like,
It do taste
ooh,
good.
this
Oh, that shit
is
tastes good.
so great.
Oh,
Yeah, Blue ain't
okay,
saying
okay.
nothing yet. You know,
Hey,
Blue-
and
Yeah,
until
yeah,
now,
yeah.
where his
Yeah,
plate is
yeah,
empty.
he's good.
Very quiet.
No,
All I
it's
hear
good.
is crunching. I'm like, all right. And it's delicious.
Y'all already know.
Can you send the link to Chop?
I did.
Okay.
He changed the link? So yeah, he
I
started
did
off
though.
from
I still said that one. That's what I was up there doing the whole time.
Oh, we in the clouds now.
Yeah, all that.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, it's cute.
But the trash is on
You don't hear us on there talking about it? Are you watching it thing? We just was talking about it all the time. We said, yeah, we did. Chickpea salad. She just said, I went off on the chickpea salad.
She called you to see what we
Yeah, I
eating.
said, what y'all eating?
Mmm.
She said, say
You
what's
taking
up.
the green and you turn.
Oh, it's
Nah,
turning
it's
into a
just full,
cloud.
but I mean, it is fine. It's just fine.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, that's
Because
cool.
it's green.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. The address here. Alright.
Is she coming down to get some chickpea salad?
I don't know.
That shit good.
No.
I feel like I just had a whole meal today.
You did.
That right there, but I was like, ooh, wee. Yes, indeed. I was like, that made me want to, I say, but I gotta go roll a blunt. That one.
Damn near vegan.
Yeah. I like that. When you feel like you're eating good, you feel like you eat life together.
Mm-hmm.
We got this vegan restaurant down here I be going to.
Oh yeah, I'm
Nah,
vegan.
in vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Them motherfuckers so expensive though.
They are. But it's good
Yeah, it is.
though.
Like spend $30 every time I go in there.
Yeah,
bitch.
easy, because that I love that green tea and beet lemonade
Yeah.
mix.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I be getting the burger. I be getting a little cauliflower wings.
Oh yes.
I get them the
I get the little. Have you ever tried the curry puff?
no.
You need to get them.
I get the bean burger. I had the mushroom.
Mhm.
You had the mushroom burger.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
I just realized that I don't mind mushroom last month.
You say you don't mind them?
Mm-mm.
You don't like them?
In my real life, I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned last month that I can like them.
Yeah, they
I had them
good.
on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't think I could like them either. Them shit's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They taste just like fucking the burger.
Even in the cloud.
Like my partner shoot.
I'm not in the cloud.
I told you.
Oh.
He shooting in there now.
Oh, it's 2:15. Oh man.
I was about to wear green today. I'm glad I did.
Okay. You would have been headless in the cloud. Okay.
Just
Can you hear me now? Oh, it's on. Okay. Okay, it's 2:15.
That is.
Now it is. So we can get started. On top of. Oh, okay. Let me start. Hey y'all. How y'all doing? Everybody online. If you online watching, shout us out. Say hello. Come on in. I do really want it to be an interactive space. So if you are online, I would appreciate it if you come in, and when I get to it, I can read them out loud so that we can all be participating. Let me finish this piece of food that I got.
Shouty.
It's a book club.
Yeah, we be vibing. We smoke.
I'm over here feeling like a chipmunk because I was done holding the food right there because it's 2:15.
She was like 2:15. Time to go. Lock it up.
Let me store that over here.
I'll get back to you in a minute.
But again, I'm so grateful that all you guys are here and that everybody's tuning in online. Again, you know, I do cook for these book club meetings, or I bring snacks or something, but we gonna eat. And I don't know how long y'all been on, but this chickpea salad is going all.
Dang.
Did I get it? Did I hear an amen?
Yeah, you did, girl. We say it to left. I was thinking that shit.
Damn. I know this shit out topic, but I want to just say it real quick. Like this, like I was reading this on this shit. It just fucked with me because you just said telepathy. I was reading this online, and they say that I looked at the video, they had people actually come forward saying that they playing with people's conscience.
I seen that.
Like they're talking to you in your head, and that shit tripped me out because like these motherfuckers crazy, or somebody really getting in our heads like this.
Yeah.
That shit fucked up because there gotta be some truth in it.
Yeah. All this 5G and stuff they put up with all this high
Oh, they want to start talking to kill yourself, nigga. Oh, whoa, they finna do it.
Yeah.
Whoa, they finna do it. All right, my fault.
No, you good. It's gonna be a real intimate kind of conversation today. Feel like because it's just a few of us here. How many of us in real life?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4 in real life. 5 in real life. Let me count myself. So then last week I know I did pose a question of how we wanted to kind of really just organize and what kind of space that we wanted to be in when we were coming to be a part of this meeting. Because it is a sacred space for us all to be completely seen, completely heard, and to fellowship with each other and through spirit. So the first thing that we did, I don't know if we were streaming when it happened, but we passed around the stage and then we just smudged ourselves to kind of clear our energy and call in whatever we wanted to call in, whatever spirits, whatever guides. And we just did that individually. Now, another suggestion was that when we come into the space, we share our intentions, like after we introduce ourselves. And I thought that was really wonderful because everybody does come with their own purpose, whatever reason that they have for showing up to a place, for participating in anything, like it's for a reason. And excuse me, when we share our intentions with each other, we can keep each other on track and hold each other accountable for the things that we are saying and how it shows up and how we're moving and how we're talking and how we're walking. So I really appreciated that as a suggestion too, to do the intentions. So I'll start. I'm Ochwole, and my intentions for this meeting is to be grounded. Grounded in spirit, grounded in acceptance that I am learning a new way. And so that I need to maintain a certain amount of openness so that I can learn this new way. It'll and incorporate it into my regular life. So that's my intentions for this meeting.
I'm Boo. How everyone doing? Well, my intentions of coming to this book club and meeting is to learn from a different perspective. You know, this is the first time I've, really been part of something like a book club. You know, like I said before, usually when I heard of a big book club, you think of, it's kind of corny. It's for nerds or something like that. Nobody really reads anymore. We got so much other stuff like YouTube and just every different forms of aspect of learning and taking in information. It's rare that you hear about people actually coming together to read a particular book and on this particular subject, and to share how they took in the information and how it may be able to affect our lives as a unit, you know, rather than individually. Because when you actually look at it from your perspective and then hear someone else's perspective on it as well, it kind of helps you expound your understanding from so many different points of views. And I intend to share my point of view as well as learn from how you may think about different things and just how spirit can interact with you, because it may help me open my experience with spirit as well.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for sharing.
That's in depth.
That's very good. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate your comment.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Kendra, and also known as Inwaneka. Definitely coming into being, and my intentions of being a part of this book club is the foundation, and just ensuring that I'm being my puzzle piece to securing the foundation that we're building upon. So focus and foundation were my intentions on this book club.
My name is Ocha. Everybody calls me O for the most part, and a lot of other things, but you know, I'm not gonna go there with that. But I mean, just like Boo said, like initially when I heard about the book club, you know, I'm kind of like, that ain't really my style. It's not my stilo or whatnot. But what I see in the bigger picture is what I think attracted me to it. Like us coming together for a purpose, and especially after I seen what the title of the book was that everybody was reading. It's called Spirit of Intimacy. That kind of grabbed my attention or whatnot, and I was being open. So I guess like trusting, you know what I'm saying, what the Spirit has in store. The fact that the book was called Spirit of Intimacy. So I just envisioned it being like the beginning of something big and something great, and starting to like really, I guess, be a part of the paradigm shift that's happening in this moment. And so, yeah, those are my intentions.
Okay. Thanks for sharing.
And I've been over trying to think about. Nah, I'm just playing. But my intentions is truly pure and innocent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I have a duty to express who we are as people. You know what I'm saying? In all dynamics. So just like I'm just trying to help with goddamn bringing what we as people really do besides what people think that we do. So it's just like given that we do read. You just said it, like people say we don't read no more, but there's people that do read. And we just have to change the narrative. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta change that narrative. Like, fuck what people don't do, this what people do though.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Okay. I appreciate that. And I also appreciate you having this platform so that we can compare me.
Yeah, we good.
And then another suggestion was to come together in spirit with the libation. Do I have water? Oh, and then also I was having a conversation with Tavon one day, and he was telling me that that was something that his family used to do when they would come together. I think he was saying that he had an aunt that would, yes please,
Yes, we.
that they would do the libation pouring, and I just thought that was so cool. But they would pour it into this big bucket, and it does say that to pour it into a pot, or like in the book, she says there's like a pot of water in the middle of the ashes. So I think that it would be also a nice thing to be able to add that element. Even if it's just like a little pie, we just, you know, pour a little
like
pour.
after eat.
Right. I know we was drinking it the first time because I'm like, I don't got no bucket. Or I don't have any like clay pie or something that's significant like that where we could, you know, pour it into. So we are the vessels. And fortunately, unfortunately, it's gonna be that way again today. Cause I don't got no pot or no bucket or no clay, something that's special. I feel like enough for this sort of coming together of spirits. So I'll go back into this prayer, and I wonder if we would be able to. Of course, you can change it and make it your own.
Yeah,
For sure.
cater it to
I
us.
got something that we might can be able to use for a little pot bucket thingy.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got the singing bowl.
Oh, yeah. You want to put water in your singing bowl? We'll just pour it out and dry it out immediately. Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Look,
that.
she looking at you like, we were kids, you ain't never let it play. And he looked like, yeah. I love you. I brought this for you. Like, he look at him look like that, yeah, you ain't think I ever do it. Huh? Just having a time.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
That is funny. So yeah, I mean they can get it. And we can pour it up like that. Who's our elder? Ochi? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Wait, how
Look
old
it up.
are you?
I'm 32.
Yeah.
Mm.
You the one today.
That's what I do.
So I just asked you if it's okay for us to
Oh, that's it?
do the ceremony of libation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Most
Okay.
definitely.
Are you gonna get the singing bowl?
I don't got it today.
Oh.
That's
Talking about next
amazing.
That's hilarious.
Amazing.
Back to the gym.
So back to
Back-
us being vessels.
Anyway.
Back to us being okay. I guess so. We the vessels again today.
Okay.
And then, of course, we'll do the call. I go, I may, and really anybody, if we need to be wrangled, can use the call, so that we can be back focused and recenter. So we'll start. Whoever is doing the call will say, "I go," and then you would respond.
Amen.
Right. Okay. Good. So we'll start the libation prayer. Shall we? I'll read the whole thing just so that we can be refreshed on the
Can you use
libation.
cut the phones down though, so it won't just feedback? Just,
Can I hear it?
yeah, I'm hearing it through.
Oh, I thought that was on the
No.
I thought it was
Nah,
too.
it's coming through these speakers, so I think your phone.
Oh, my phone is connected. Oh, I'm not good with
Mhm.
technology.
Just cut it down. You good to keep it connected if you want to, because you might want to play
Yeah,
some
so you
music.
can read it and you
Yeah.
can play music. Just
You
Oh.
just cut it down. Just cut the volume down.
Okay, I turned it down.
Yeah, just like yeah.
Okay, so the libation. The libation in Africa is a ritual of heritage, a drink offering to honor and please the Creator, our sacred ancestors, humans present and not present, as well as the environment. This ritual is also practiced in many other parts of the world. Libation is an immensely important marker of African identity. It is persistent across places and times, says much about the origin of all Africans, about their relation to each other, and about cultural transmission in general. The ultimate purpose is to promote the cosmic order of oneness and balance of being and things in the universe. The origins of libations are so old that the first records of the ritual can be found in the legends, myths, sacred literature, and language of Kemet, also ancient Egypt. Before any celebration begins, it is called to order. One way, the Akan phrase, call, I go, and response, I may. That means, may I have your attention, and you may have my attention, respectively. Then the master of ceremonies must ask the permission of the elders to commence. Once given, the libation ceremony may begin. It is a tradition to pour libation in remembrance of our ancestors on all special occasions. It is usually passed throughout the family and community to promote a spirit of oneness. We pour in honor of Sankofa, an Ashanti word that means go back and fetch it, or to learn from the past. We respond with Ashe, which means so be it. So again, Ocha, the elder, can we commence with libation? Okay. We use both hands to rise Akikombe Cha Umoja to the creator of all things, great and small, to show our reverence for the original source of our lives. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ooh,
That
a
water,
blessing.
that water dank.
We use cool water which holds the essence of life to nourish our souls.
Ashe.
Ashe. We give thanks to the motherland, Akabula, the cradle of civilization.
Ashe.
Ashe.
We call upon our ancestors and their indomitable spirit, for these forebears are the foundation of our families, immortalized in our thoughts. We call them by name. Feel free to name any of your ancestors, and then Ashe,
Priscilla.
Ochwale, Otor,
That guru.
Akburu,
Ashe.
Ashe. We call upon our elders, whose wisdom we seek in our endeavors. Ashe.
Ashe.
We pour this libation so that we may show our children the importance of family. For he who is not taught by his mother is taught by the world. This is for our youth who represent the promise of tomorrow. Ashe.
Ashe.
We pour in remembrance of our struggle and all those who have struggled on our behalf.
Ashe.
We call upon our family and extended family members who would have been here if they could. We ask that they be with us in our thoughts. Ashe.
Ashe.
We cast our libation to the north, the south, the east, and the west. Ashe. 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 And it says, please leave a moment of silence for guests to honor and share names of ancestors. Ashe.
Ashe.
A blessing. Okay, so this week, I really wanted to focus on the last couple of chapters of the book, which are 7 through 13. Really, I really kind of want to talk about, if we could, touch on chapter 6. Chapter 6 is, the chapter about initiation. And last week, I don't think we really talked about it like that. We kind of mentioned it a little bit and like breaking up in the groups so that we could have that same sex energy. Well, that sounds crazy. that that ritual time for the same sexes. But I think that's as much as we went into it when it comes to initiation. Because really, even in breaking off into those groups, it would be based off of the people that you were initiated with. And initiated in a sense of like a coming of age or rites of passage type situation. So then I guess my first question that I want to pose is how many people or how many of you guys felt that you had that sort of initiation process from a kid to an adult, or thinking the book. I can't believe I left my book. Do y'all got y'all book?
Not on me.
Nobody got the book on. And see, this is why you need paper books because then I would have to pull up the audio book.
Pull it up.
Can somebody pull up the audio book?
Because they weren't too long.
They weren't that long. But I know when it comes to the women, it was based off of the cipher. Thank you. And your initiation group would be based off of that. And with men, if I'm remembering correctly, it was just when they start to concern them, like show
Manly
come on.
characteristics.
Yes, show the manly characteristics and are more concerned with like older things. Then they start their initiation process that way. So does anybody feel like they had like that period in their lives, like right when people were going through the changes?
It's like for us men, I think it's real difficult because like for y'all, it's like y'all get that rite of passage when y'all start bleeding. You know what I'm saying? It's like when our bodies start changing muscular wise, but some would be big kids like that too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it's like it's not until you actually are bestowed upon something you have to protect or provide for. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's never our rite of passage. Like, because when I became a father, whenever that feeling hit me, it was scary because it was like, you gotta goddamn take care of this human being. You gotta provide for this human being. You gotta make sure that this human being is okay. And it's scary because like that's like for the most part, we grow up not loving ourselves, so we indulge in what excites us. You know what I'm saying? So when we know it, like whenever I was 20 something, I knew that goddamn I was having fun, and it's like I had already grabbed that fuck it, like whatever the fuck, I just deal with it. But whenever you have something else that you have to protect and provide for, you start thinking about that. Damn, I usually would do that, but shit, I gotta make sure I got this for that. You may need this. You know what I'm saying? It's not until I feel we have to be responsible, because that's the role that we feel that we're protectors. You know what I'm saying? That's what we feel we are as men. That's what you think of as a man, a protector and a provider. So we don't feel that way until then. Everything else is like a team flaunting.
That is a very interesting and thorough
perspective.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. So for you, it feels like not until you become responsible, right? So like when you have chores in the house, it doesn't feel like it then?
No.
Then. Not
like
just.
You feel like whenever I was a teen, that shit was like a fucking job. And that shit, a job don't make me feel responsible. It's like, I mean, even though, like, in a sense, people, you would say in hindsight, it would be responsible to have a job or whatnot. But back then, like, you young, you ain't even been in that world yet. You getting introduced to the cycle when you working. So, goddamn, the chores and shit, that's good for structural.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it ain't teaching me, man, this what being a man is all about, cleaning up. Nah, hell nah.
Yeah, that's real though. I mean, that's real. Like, just like he was saying, like, as a man, I think you kind of just gotta like feel your way through it. You know what I'm saying? You may have some people that are older than you, you know what I'm saying, share their perspective with you, kind of thing, and you have your dad, but like your dad can only, I guess, show you so much. Especially in our case, you know, our dad grew up in Nigeria or whatnot, so it's almost like you only got so much knowledge about this area we in here right now. It's new to you, you know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of how we grew up. So, you know, I can kind of understand that. And I mean, even just in the black community period, like I feel like, you know, it's been an attack on our family structure, you know, to the point to where it's like single parent households and things like that, and you know, being a product of our environment, to where you know the man is kind of just out there, like you know they kind of say that you know everything is against the black man, kind of thing like that, and like you can see it. I mean, you just see it out there that you know we look towards people like rappers and sport figures and things like that, because it's like, oh, they're making it, they doing it, kind of thing, and that's kind of where like the idea of a man comes from. I mean, yeah, like the responsibility of having a kid, but it's still a big struggle with that, like in the community, just because of the structure, what the structure is. So I just think it's kind of out there. It's nothing like set in place for you to know, you know what I'm saying, like how to be or what you're supposed to be, kind of thing.
Tell people to leave their comments so how they feel. If they got some people watching.
Y'all heard what the man said? Leave y'all comments. You know, please be interactive. Tune in. We gonna read y'all comments. We gonna interact with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Cause really, I'm kind of, you know, I'm a little taken aback just from this first question. I didn't think it was
that deep.
right.
But,
No,
But
that's how that's because it's like, think about like it take us so much longer to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then this is why. So then, okay. So now, thank you for sharing this part about it, right? Because the other thing that we discussed in the first couple of chapters was that basically you have a community, right? You have all these mamas, you have all these daddies, you know what I'm saying, no uncles or none of that. All these granddaddies, all these people that you get to interact with, who you know, who get to see you, right? Who pour into you and who get to see you, right?
Yeah.
Because the one thing that is sticking out to me about what both of you guys said is that man in America, you got to figure it out on your own. Because excuse me, we even though you know our dad was difficult, you know what I'm saying, the fact that we at least had that as a model, even if it was what not to do or what not to accept, you know what I'm saying, you still got one perspective. But then to be in a household where there's not a male figure there, especially if you know your mom don't have or isn't around her uncles or her brothers or her siblings.
That family structure.
So that family structure to where it's like, okay, even if you know mama can't see me, I still got excuse me, these other people in the community that do see me. And that, you know what I'm saying, they can kind of guide me and kind of like, you know, like pour into you like when you need it. Because when I and then that indicator, because with y'all it is kind of like the change in body structure. Well, I know for me, just watching, because I got a lot of little male children. They all get so big, but they, you know, you really do see it around about 8, 9. They start putting on this little weight, get a little chunky. What their interests are starts to change a little bit, just in how they talk in their voices, you know. But then I also feel like, you know, that's the other reason why when you do have like a community and you can talk about, okay, this is what's going on with him. This, you know what I'm saying, this man tripping, you know, he not listening, or there's something that's coming up, you know what I'm saying? Like you have other people where you can kind of bounce it off of.
Yeah,
right?
other people to turn to.
Like, think about this though. Like, as we grow up as men, we like, say we the same age, male and female grow up the same age. Girl goes through puberty first. The things that she grew up seeing a woman doing, she naturally, I'm a woman, I start doing this, start moving this type of way. So they start going into how they look and shit like that. Some of them go into the nurturing space, cooking, cleaning, things like that. Us as men, and then our girls that's our age like that, we see those as young guys the same age as them. They go to the older dudes. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, they goddamn, we grow up seeing that shit and it's like, shit, we ain't goddamn, it's gonna be our turn. You know what I'm saying? Our turn. You know what I'm saying? And with men, you not a man until you goddamn one, you goddamn basically like taking care of shit. I hate to say that, but like just lack of better terms, better words right now, like boss. Like you don't feel like no boss, like you don't feel like you the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you goddamn you reign over your realm of reality, whatever you got going on. You take care of your business in that space.
Right.
We don't feel like that until we're like that. You know what I'm saying? Women, and just even another sense like this. A dude in his 20s and a girl in her 20s, for 10 years straight, they just both pitch it off, have fun, do everything. A dude in his, now they both turning 30. She's still good, he no good. You know what I'm saying? She can go get married to a nigga cause off her beauty, cause both of them nice looking. Let's do that. They both nice looking. They both on the same playing field evenly. But in my 20s and in her 20s, we're both partying, having fun, living life, YOLO. We're not building anything with substance. We're just living. By the time we turn 30 and we still both A1, I guess, body whack, whatever, however that the perception of reality is with that. At 30, we still goddamn, the dude ain't shit because he ain't accomplished nothing. Her, she can be like, you know what, I'm tired. And we both feel tired of the party, nightlife or whatever. Tired of partying, having fun, want to settle down. She can goddamn switch, boop, turn into that woman and just go get married. The dude, he got to spend the next 10 years trying to figure out how he gonna fix them 10 years he done fucked off, pissed off. You feel me?
You know what stuck out to me earlier is when you said it didn't hit you like the sense of duty or even responsibility until you had a child. Do you have siblings?
Yeah. I got two brothers.
2 brothers.
I'm in the middle, like Malcolm.
So it's like you still had a community. Did you grow up with your mom and dad as well?
My mom.
Your
it was
mom.
my mom and me and my 2 brothers.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it was it. My mom worked, so it was just me and my brothers. My oldest brother was always out in the streets, and so it was just really me and my little brother.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah.
It just hit me because it's like hearing you say I really didn't start to take life seriously is until I had someone else to take care of.
Yeah.
And it hit, and that's like your late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy you shared that because it's honestly like that's most men. And now we're having the conversation about, you know, the man and the woman being the same age and tricking off or fucking off, but this woman has more of an opportunity to be happy than this man over here because he hasn't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, so we realize it later in life and you feel like it is a setback or anything. Like, I'm just happy that it's said and it's in the open.
It's definitely a setback, but it just show you like it's the difference. Like we want the same, but we can't ever be. We can't ever be. It might be some anomalies that a dude can, you know, piss off his 20s and his 30s. Oh yeah, baby, come on, I love you. I just want to be with you. Boom. Most women want a dude that can provide, that they feel protected upon it. So if I done pissed off my 20s, ain't tried to build nothing. In my 30s, I mean, I got to try to do that for the next 10 years. By the time I'm 40, you feel me? And then, like Tupac said, by the time you hit 30, most niggas, goddamn, that's fire gone. That shit gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just think about that cycle. But it's cool. Like, not saying it's cool for women, but it's that them 20s is okay for women if they goddamn play the game how celebrities play it. Just stay in that peak shit and be like, I'm done playing, and the nigga will wife you up.
So then let me bring this back to the topic of initiation, right? Because to hear you say that, and then also to go into when women go into initiation, I know just recently a lot of my friends who have older girl children, young lady babies, when they start their cycle, there's like this whole kid, and this is how you take care of yourself, and this, you know, you go through everything where you're learning about your cycle and how things have changed for you, you know, because it's not a situation where, you know, it's like on top of, it's like a physical marcation that, okay, you have changed now. And so really, especially with the mothers, most mothers still being there and being like grandmas and aunties, like one thing is that that the women group, they, I feel, have stuck together a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And so to go back to initiations is that I know for me, I felt kind of uncomfortable talking to my mom about when I started my cycle and everything, because I remember when my sister started hers, and mommy was on the phone telling everybody, I guess the woman now, she started her cycle. And I'm like, dang,
You see that? You see how she said that she's a woman now.
Right.
You see
Right,
that?
yeah.
Y'all, it's like it's all like y'all already know when y'all come.
Right.
We never know.
And so that's why I'm going back to this now, right? Because I just, even like hearing this and like, it's just, okay, it just came back to me. I'm like, okay, so we do, because at first I'm like, it didn't feel like an initiation,
Right.
you know, per se, but it technically was, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because then I got this whole lesson about, okay, I need to be careful. I need to start carrying a purse. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Think
need a
about
purse.
this. Think about how we get. You'll be the same age of high school with dudes, and then all of a sudden you start adding, you immature. We were just playing together last week. Now you mature. You in there fucking with my goddamn minty. Now I gotta goddamn try to stiffen up and everything. I'm mature.
I'm mature.
Yes.
I'm mature too.
Why they over there playing? They were throwing. They're so lame. They're throwing football, running around, exerting energy. Oh man, like
That's funny.
I would be play for a minute too, like just for that purposes.
Right.
Like
That's
we
the
gotta
whole
fake
thing
being
about it,
mature.
man.
You feel
That's
me?
the thing about it, though. Like, I think it all boils down to the structure and the knowledge. Because, I mean, scientifically, it's already understood that women mature faster than men.
But now we just got this information we just conjured up just then. Is it because if you don't know, you don't know. Think about how you said when the knowledge you received when you started, or your mom, you was talking about with your period, your purse and things that you have to carry, watch out for.
Right.
We ain't you. So now you starting your mind opening up, even though it's on net, but it's opening up other shit now.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, I
So
do.
and we don't.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying,
Yeah,
but that's
no.
what I'm saying, just boil down to the structure. That's why, I mean, it's just like the lack thereof kind of, it's adding to like the misdirection, you know what I'm saying, of the culture, if you want to, so to speak.
Yeah, or the important, really what it's pointing to is the importance of some sort of initiation on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because even for men, to like how you just said, you don't know that your homegirl, y'all was kicking shit last week. Now she on her cycle and these things are beneath her now. And well, what happened? But you know what I'm saying. But then,
and I had
so
that
now
talk.
I can't do these things.
My mind opened up.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like to also prepare young boy children for when the change occurs in their opposite sex with their playmates. And also just how to offer support during that period as well. Because the thing that I love so much about the book is that it's always about the spirit of period.
Yeah,
The spirit of the
it's
community.
just based in everything.
The spirit of the family, the spirit of the individual. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like with everybody in the village, you can't, like, you have your part to play.
Yep.
Right? And you bring your gifts to support the community and you play your part. So one thing that I thought was really cool in that chapter is that they talk about how a bleeding woman can have her ritual and everybody kind of just caters to her because of the because of the amount of spirit and healing energy that can be channeled while she is on her moon cycle, and how it lines up with the cycle of the earth. And so even the men in the village participate in her ritual how she sees fit because of an understanding of where this woman is right now and how she's playing into the energies of on every level, on that personal level, on that familiar level, on that community level. And she's able to channel from spirit directly and how that energy is so powerful. So this fake maturity that she was talking about, like, oh, you mature, I'm mature too, right? And now it's beneath both of us, right? But it shows how this level of understanding on both sides, on all parties involved, makes it a more respectable and communal event for
experience.
For this experience and for the cycle, and for just like how that plays a major part in society. Because I think about how sometimes it's like folks still be weirded out about it, kind of like men folk. Well, maybe
about
not,
what?
about
Menstrual cycle?
menstrual cycles.
She
like
say men folk.
Men folk. That's what I call y'all. I mean, not so much anymore, but I'm just thinking back to when I was younger, and there used to be this whole big to do about, folks cycling, and it was just interesting. So what do you think that initiation could look like now?
Now?
Yeah.
Like not for anyone young, like just for
You mean
us.
You mean in terms of like being introduced into like that adulthood type?
Yeah,
thing?
both. I'm talking about both for us, because I feel like we would have to get on some sort of ritual or some sort of like agreement, like on the same page about it before we could be like, okay, we gonna implement this into our community. Right, because
definitely.
we talking about what we're doing now is for building our future.
Right.
I know I don't want to have to wait until, or if I have a daughter, or I'm even thinking about all my daughters, all my sons, that they don't have to wait until they are placed with such a heavy responsibility as a whole human being before they're like, okay, shit, now I gotta be a man, now I gotta be a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what would that look like now?
Yeah, to implement that now.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's more of teaching people to connect spiritually. Come from the spirit. Like everything is already in the spirit, and it's when we literally learn to let go and be submissive and let spirit take over, you're not lacking anything. And that's just a truth that we had to learn in growing up, and just learning, what comes from the flesh and what comes from the spirit. These are fruits of the spirit. These are fruits of the flesh. Doing these produces this. Doing this or applying this type of reaction or thought to when I have this feeling or emotion is going to produce this outcome. So I just feel understanding and knowing how to, when spirit is running the forefront of your life, how that really creates how things should flow, because spirit doesn't flow out of, it is the flow.
Right.
So it's right. There's no judgment on whether this was wrong or right, or did you meet this in the time you were supposed to. It happens, and us having that knowing of allowing spirit to flow and happen, we're just being and allowing spirit to do as it does. So I think it's more like, how do we allow spirit to take over and do that and not ourselves?
I can see, I can feel that.
I do. I feel that. I feel that. I think when it comes to that, I do understand like spirit being at the forefront, at the connector, as a connector and as a way to like move and operate, right? But then, like, how do you make solid this thing of initiation? Because
We come up with it.
Well, that's what she's asking.
that's what I'm asking.
That's what she's asking. Like, how do we begin to like implement it?
But what do we think is important?
So-
I guess I'm asking like, what's important to implement? And I was saying knowledge of spirit is one of the things I feel is important to implement.
During.
Initiation.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see that. Okay. So, but then, yes. But then, and then, who do you, because in the book it's your elders, of course.
Yeah.
The people that you connect with.
Mm-hmm.
The people that, you know, in us it would be that we feel comfortable with. So even I think there's a certain level of comfort that we all need to feel
With each other. Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then how do we start to cultivate that? You know, because I know there's another thing that people don't feel comfortable bringing their children into a space until they felt it out and until they know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So then, how do we do that?
I mean, how else do you do it? It's like, isn't it like building any other normal, like, compassionate, intimate relationship that you intend to last, like, forever?
Yeah, how do you do that?
I mean, you have to,
Like,
get to know each other. You know, actually,
be there.
like you have to care. Remember, like I was talking to about Chuck, like, you know, I said, how do you do it? You have to care. Like, you have to really care, like authentic care. When you authentically care for somebody or a person, it's just things that just happen natural to where a reciprocation of energy happens, to where you become comfortable and you decide to open up, or you just feel it. Like, so by actually caring about somebody, implementing any type of care, like that's like the ending product. It's like a cause and effect type thing. So if we really care about the community and about, you know, actually growing and doing something, you know what I mean, then we would actually have to start implementing things together and individually, as in checking up on people or talking to people you normally don't talk to, having some kind of events where you come together and just kick it, you know what I'm saying, anything like that. Like I was saying, women, it need to be some kind of women group everywhere. Like, I don't care, it's so many, like, it's needed, you know what I'm saying, women are coming together. It's so much emotions that I feel like it's trapped up, you know what I'm saying, it needs to be come out and expressed, and outlets are needed, you know what I'm saying. The same thing with guys, like, we need to come together and talk to each other, because, you know, Lord knows that guys don't even express their emotions, and, you know, and they need a way to, you know, come out and talk about that. Like, we need some kind of leadership. So, I mean, we really just first have to start doing it within each other. And I think, like Kendra's saying, like, when those type things start happening, then these ideas that we all have automatically become shared amongst ourselves, because that's just how spirit works. And then we, you know, it's like almost like, you know, letting it flow, you know what I'm saying? Because we all understand, like, the change that's happening and that's needed, you know, to take place. So creating that structure amongst ourselves, like, it always starts at the bottom. it always starts at the basics. You have to create a strong foundation. So I think that's the most important part before you even. I mean, even if people are interested now, like I mean, you see where we are. Everyone's at the beginning of something. So what else can you kind of gauge besides like willingness and you know and like people willing to be a part and them showing that showing it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna always have stuff for people to show up to. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing. Like why not? You know what I'm saying? If we're all building, doing something in the community, whether it's building an organization or giving back or doing whatever we think is that our minds come up with to just expound. Like I think there's always opportunities to like do something or play a role. You know what I mean? There's so much that needs to take place. There's so many parts for people to have. So who's down for the cause? Like who down?
Okay. I think I'm gonna sit with that one some more. Hear what y'all saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I just need to sit with it some more.
What do you hear us say?
I hear you say you gotta care about wanting to even like build this structure so that the space can be created so that that type of energy flow can be started in the first place, and that spirit will be the one that will lead that and bring the groups together and bring the people together. I think the only thing that which is probably why I need to just sit with it some more, is maybe like a action plan or because all of these things feel very abstract still.
Okay.
So I think I'm looking for something that could be maybe a bit more concrete when it comes to what could we all be doing actually right now to put these things in place and get these things like going. Do you feel like we have that type of structure in our community so far?
I mean, amongst what we're trying to build now with this, with you creating this book club, yes.
But just now though.
No, so what I think you're saying is so I don't know if we're like getting ahead of ourselves or not, but so what I think we were touching on is like pretty much starting from the bottom and building the basis, what I'm saying, for to get to where you're talking about.
Okay,
and
I'm
what we
too
were
far.
what we were touching on is making sure that type of structure exists within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? For us who are already here now, like who's here now. You know what I'm saying? Amongst each one of us, do we feel that? You know what I mean? You can't extend something to somebody that you don't have in a sense. Like you have to have it before you give it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So us establishing that kind of structure within ourselves is what will project it forward.
Okay, that does make more sense.
Okay,
thank you. And that I think that's just a part of how my mind be kind of moving. It'll go from big to little, and it goes back and forth like that. So that's why I said I just probably need to sit with this some more in myself. And so then that also makes me think of the things that like, because we are the ones that's like starting it, right? That to piggyback off of what Ocha said about establishing it within ourselves first. Like with our peer group, to be able to establish that sort of connection, who we feel like would be like our initiation circle in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The people that we have grown and learned with
Exactly.
at the same time. So I think I just thank you. I for the patience. Because I'm like, it's still not.
It's not resonating yet.
Okay, got it. I got it. Okay, so then do y'all feel complete about the initiation part of it? Chapter 6. I know that felt like a long time we was talking about that. I'm sorry.
I mean, it do what it need to do.
It did.
You know.
Okay, so then the next chapter is the chapter about marriage. Chapter 7.
Oh wait, hold on. Can I say a comment first?
Okay.
My friend made a comment or whatnot. She wanted to say something.
Okay.
And she was talking about, I guess, making that connection with spirit and kids. And she was saying kids need to know their lineage. And some kids don't have that connection with their lineage. And then she's like, how do you connect with spirit when you don't have no clue as to who they are in the physical realm? So they need a village. They need adults to guide them to that spirituality. They need a family structure, however they can get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, that definitely just sums up everything that I think we just said.
Yep.
That first we need to be able to establish that connection with amongst ourselves, as with us being the foundation. That we would first start to be that village and connect to each other in a way so that we do feel comfortable to bring our children around each other, and then to break off into our women's group and our males group, and allow so now it makes me think back back in the day before social distancing when you could go to a cookout and you see like your groups of people here and there, this old auntie circle in the kitchen, still putting together the salads and still doing the meal prepping. Right, and then you got your old men, the old heads playing cards or talking shit,
showing
drinking
off,
beers. Right, and then you got all the little children just running around. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have to recreate that in a healthy way. I think is basically what I'm getting, right? And what's feeling the best from what we've discussed is that we've got to start to do that amongst ourselves. And to go back to last week when they talk about spirit bringing two people together for a purpose, or creating this interaction for a purpose. I think that's really important, and that is, again, we all ended up being friends and coming together. So it clearly can be that, so long as we do the foundational work so that we can feel that sort of comfort with each other. Yeah, so that feels complete. For real. Okay, so then the next thing that I wanted to talk about, that was the mentorships and learning about intimacy. Oh, marriages, right? And so this other analogy of starting from the bottom and heading to the top. That was one thing that really stuck out to me in the chapter about marriage, because they talk about how they don't regard each other in a sexual way at all. That you literally look at everybody, all of your peers, the ones that's coming up beneath you, all of those, that they are just considered brothers and sisters. And you learn about sex and creating intimacy with the initiation. And so because it's that way, it's like they do arranged marriages there. because they say that the elders go so far as to even divine over who should be together. And by divining over them, it's like going to the spirits, the ancestors, and literally talking and seeing, what they want to happen. Because the whole thing about marriage is that it's two communities, at the very smallest, she said at least two families coming together. And it's a purpose that is beyond just the people that are engaging in marriage. That it's a lot of times something from an ancestral realm, a spirit realm that's causing these two families to come together. But I wanted to hear your kind of stance on marriages, the way that you have experienced them versus how Sobonfu is describing them.
I think it's pretty dope how even before the child is born that they communicate with them, find out the child's name and the purpose of even coming into the realm, and then from that point on all the way up to pretty much like for 16 years they can like have an idea of who they might want to match them with, because they always talking to the spirits.
I guess the idea was different. Of course, from growing up, you like, I'm gonna find my prince, and then listen to Sobonfu saying, "Girl, your prince already was found." So it's like, what you like? What? Like, one is a choice, one isn't. But then, is it because with your community, of course, you're in alignment with them. So of course they're gonna choose what's best for you. Y'all operate in spirit. Right. Me talking about this is what I desire, this Prince Charm, I don't know what the hell that is. That's just what I've been told. Right. So, I'm desiring the illusion where my community has seen it and feel it and know it. And like, girl, you're going to be just fine with him. He's going to be just fine with you. Mm-hmm. Y'all work it out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, like that sounds great. Like, I could have rocked with that if I'd known that growing up. But then, this is what I knew before knowing.
So, I guess now it's difficult to say, but like that show Married at First Sight, right? Mm-hmm. I was gonna say it's difficult to say you can get an arranged marriage now, but they have a whole show about it.
How do they put those couples together?
So with Married at First Sight,
it's like matchmaking.
Yeah, it's like matchmaking. You tell them your whole life, everything about you. I think they do tests, like personality tests and all those kind of things. They've standardized people now. So
I'm about keyword.
They've standardized people. So essentially, these attributes should complement and go well with these attributes. Mm-hmm. And this is what they say they want. So according to that,
these two should have a good chance.
Be together. Yeah. They should have a good chance at making it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's basically Married at First Sight. Mm-hmm. So for me, I was a little bit torn about it, because I know, like, mommy and daddy have an arranged marriage, and I know a lot of African people who have experienced arranged marriages. Some have made it, some have not. And I don't know, even when I look back at it, because at first I'm like, well, maybe it's just the Africans that's in America that we really get divorced. But then to even hear stories in my own family about even after being arranged in Nigeria, they still like running to the hills, like, nah, I can't do this. At this point, I'm just like, I really don't know, right? For me, I'm just like, I'm just gonna leave it up to spirit. Leave it up to spirit, because I think what's happened too, think they're as connected to their own spiritual traditions. And so it creates like this sort of weird mix of ego, tradition, and a little bit of spirit sprinkled in. Or it's just a little different now.
I was gonna say, the way I look at it, this like you were saying, just like looking at our parents and how like a lot of arranged marriages go, or just, you know what I'm saying, even the marriages where people were able to choose, were able to choose who they were with, like, I don't know, it all just seemed kind of out of whack kind of thing, and so I've always been the type to kind of be like, yeah, I'm gonna just leave with the spirit anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I always feel like that's the only real trustworthy way to go. Like, I think that's our whole purpose, you know, in terms of like religion and spirituality. It's like you're supposed to put trust there.
Right.
So, seeing how things are turning out, but also, you know what I'm saying, like I said before, seeing the fact that people were kind of in the mindset of like still allowing other people to suffer. So I kind of figured that we weren't in the right mindset, period. So I know people desire to be with, you know what I'm saying, other people, we all desire that, you know what I'm saying, that love and stuff like that. But then at the same time, it always just made me feel weird about people's motives, you know what I'm saying, behind it.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that too, because in the book they talk about that there is a purpose for the marriage, right? Each individual, like if we go back to what you're talking about, the ritual where you hear from the child while it's in utero, that purpose has to be in line, or as Ubuntu says, on the same road as your partner's purpose. And then each of you individuals will still live your own individual purpose, and then the purpose of you two being together is something that's different.
Yeah, it's like a bigger picture type thing.
Right. So, she don't talk about dating, right?
At all.
At all. She doesn't talk about dating. She says that you go through initiation, then you get arranged. I know here we date. And I guess I wonder how much emphasis is put on understanding and knowing each other's individual purpose. How can I? That's not a question.
I mean, it's
how much emphasis? Oh, there it is. How much emphasis do you put on understanding and effort? How much emphasis and effort do you put towards understanding a person who you are dating, like understanding their purpose?
You mean just in this society, like right
yeah,
now?
because what we're doing now is understanding that we are living on these two different realms, but you know what I'm saying, at the same time.
Yeah.
Because we all have agreed that this book spoke to our soul in every way. But we are here.
Yeah.
But we still want to live like this. That, right?
Yeah.
And then now we are working on building a foundation that's based in this, what our spirit feels, as far as intimacy and relationships. But we still have to operate here in this Western world right now. So, yeah, right here, right now. like when it comes to your purpose in dating,
Mm-hmm.
if you are dating, maybe that means you have some intention on getting married,
Mm-hmm.
on creating a structure, or doing, because we talked about it on the individual, and then familiar, and then community. So outside of you, because you do know your purpose. Do everybody feel comfortable saying that they know their purpose?
Yes. I don't know if everybody does, but I guess it's a question to each of us individually.
Okay, you said yes though. How did you know that it was like what your, okay, I'll ask you what your purpose is, and how do you know that it's your purpose?
Okay. So, knowing how I figured out what my purpose was is when I figured out the things that I did effortlessly were the things that genuinely made me happy and overall represented love in an unconditional form. And being able to see that thought physical was how I knew what my purpose was. So being able to be in that and understand that in any situation I'm in, it's always that. So that's how I know that's a purpose of mine.
Okay. Okay. I think that's a let me Google that.
Google what?
I know, right? I want to Google the definition of purpose. Because I think now that almost feel like a abstract thought too. Just in asking people if they know what their purpose is. It's a whole chapter about being born to a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like your soul wanting to come here for a reason. You just didn't come to come. You wanted to come here for a reason.
For something.
So then, you feel like you know what your purpose is?
Yeah, I always know what my purpose was.
Okay. You gonna give, or you just second in Kendra?
You said second. I mean, Kendra pretty much said how to figure out what your purpose was in a nutshell. Like the things that you do effortlessly, or the things that you, I think, feel strong about in this world when it comes to what you're giving. You know, how you are impacting people or affecting them. You know, I think that's a big aspect in what your purpose is in figuring out, because I think, like, you know, we're all like a whole, and so your purpose is to help drive the system. You know what I'm saying? You have a role to play, like each person has a key mechanism, you know what I'm saying? And ultimately, since it's all one, I think it's something that you're giving to yourself. So you would want to give because it's just not, I think it's just an innate part of you, you know what I mean? It's like a survival type thing. You know, like he was saying, when you have a kid, you kind of naturally know that, you know, you have to give them the essentials, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a part of you. So I think what you feel like is essential in life, you know what I mean, that you kind of just gravitate towards, what you do effortlessly, what you find yourself kind of being the basis of your why in most of your life, you know what I'm saying? What makes you, why you want to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the reason behind it? You know what I'm saying? It's in your heart, you feel it.
Okay. I think that's good. Thank y'all for explaining it that way. And then, how does that dictate or, oh, hold on, before I go on. Shantae says, hey Shantae, she says, there has to be a time that you know that a person is someone you want to journey with, then bringing them to the community and allowing them to see where your journey isn't by yourself.
Let's read it again.
There has to be a time that you know that that person is someone you want to journey with, then bringing them to the community and allowing them to see where your journey. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And okay, got it. When there is, what question is that answering? Must have been the first question. Your purpose, how your purpose.
You said your
How your
purpose and finding your mate, I guess.
Yeah.
Talking about
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's for that question. I'm like, this feels like it goes, but not right here, right here. Okay, so it goes going back to the very first part of it, because this defining purpose was
tangent.
It was a tangent, but okay, so I see Shantae what she's saying. That's how you know what like in dating somebody that your purposes line up, or how important that is.
And she said, and bringing them to your community.
Yeah.
Remember, was asking what's different with marriage on knowing knowing Sabone Food's perspective and our perspective in America when it comes to dating
long
and
ago
marriage.
question. Oh, thank you for bringing it back, because I was looking for it. Thank you for sharing, Shantae. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the purposes in the marriage and what they come, like just marriages in general. Okay, so now this takes me back, right? How do you, like the renewals, right? The renewals in the relationships and in the marriages, and the rituals that keep, spirit inside and doing it like constantly. What does that look like in your current relationships?
I'm not in no
No,
relationship.
But
we're not talking about.
not like
There we go. No,
Yeah.
it's just talking about relationships with
period.
people.
just relationships, period. Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Because we talked about marriage.
Yeah,
And me
There's
and
nobody. None of us are married.
None of us are married
Okay.
in this room right now. So we can talk about marriage some more.
So
next week.
renewals?
Yeah, renewals and
And
relationships.
relationships.
You said what that look like in our lives, or what we think the ideal of it should look like?
What does it look? Do you do it now?
It
Nah.
looks
Your
like
current
trials.
Not
I'm
with
gonna
your-
be honest. They look like trials.
What you mean?
like.
What you mean like
like trials and tribulations.
Oh, wait a minute.
We're talking about the rituals that we go through in relationships. What do they look like? They look like trials. Okay, right now we're talking about
That's
right
hilarious.
now, and we're being honest. They look like that. They look like some fucked up shit that didn't happen to you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can think of parents, them being, first and foremost.
That's
When you
real.
figure out who they are, you be like, man, the fuck? And then you gotta learn to love them for real, for real.
Yeah.
You already loved them, then figured
That's
out who they
right.
were, and was like, man, what the fuck? And then you gotta understand they just human too, and trying to figure this shit out too. So you have compassion,
Yeah.
learn what that is, so you
That's
extend
right.
that to them. So it looked like trials.
Yeah.
Oh, like all this childhood trauma and shit.
That's funny, that's so funny.
That's
real.
funny.
That's real. I
funny.
knew you was going. That's real though.
Okay, that is.
Mhm.
That is.
It's like you gotta find the renewal, a real renewal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? An authentic renewal, because all that other renewal just been patchwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, I know. Okay, so this what I'm gonna do, because I do want to talk about marriage and relationships and just interactions in your community and all of that at once. Because to even talk about this, like this renewal, right?
Mhm.
Did I lose that shit again?
You need to talk
I
about
just lost it. The
implementation or something?
No, not implementing it now, but like how do you what sort of thing, like, okay, yes, it looks like trials and tribulations, you realize this, like, oh, this, I really don't like this aspect of you as an individual, but I'm gonna love you anyway, right? Is there like some sort of
tools or resources?
Like, what do those situations look like? Like, is it just yelling and screaming and carrying on? Like,
Talking about resolute type actions, like to resolve, or like what do you mean?
Yeah. Like how do you resolve
How
it?
do you resolve it?
Yeah, like right now in your life when how do you resolve it normally?
Like, it's like you make a choice. It's how you resolve it.
Well, she mean like what do you like? I guess actually doing, like in terms of resolving
the issue, right?
The issues.
You come into I've got this issue with Ocha, I don't like that you do this. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. I still love you. I still want us to be growing and changing together. Whatever. Okay. Now what?
So, personally, the way I look at it, I feel like this really requires, like, you have to have faith in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Grounded and be coming from like a place of understanding and compassion and love, like always. Like, you have to say that control. There's only a particular amount of circumstances that you can control. First things first. So part of it is I can make you aware of it, right? Me making you aware of it is saying like, okay, I put it out there, right? It doesn't mean you're gonna change. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you're gonna care, kind of thing. I will hope that you do care, kind of thing. You kind of expect it, but maybe you only have a certain capacity of care in that lane. You know what I'm saying? That's still not suitable for me, right? But at the same time, like you're saying, I still want to grow with you and love you and things. And love should have no boundaries like that. So personally, I think that's one thing that comes with understanding yourself, and that's a challenge to yourself type thing, because part of love, a big part of love is acceptance and allowance, like real unconditional love, because unconditional part means there shouldn't be no conditions that I shouldn't be showing you love or, exuding those aspects towards you. So I think that's a big question for self. You know what I'm saying? When Kitten was talking about making a solution, a choice, you have to choose to, I think, react in those loving aspects or those actions that you view as loving to help progress you towards where you want to be, versus old habitual reaction that probably just felt good or because was justified or familiar or something like that. Like, saying that, well, I'm going to do this because, and you pick something that they did and you're justified in doing it. So you're not identifying the growth aspect of it or how you benefit from it type of thing. So I think that's something to always implement and initiate in your own life before even, I guess, trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I can come and tell you, but, how much is that going to do? I guess that's where the faith part comes in the fact that me taking the route of, trusting more so in me responding in the only loving way that I can and being satisfied with that. Like, being satisfied in my response, not necessarily in how you take it or how you come up, but satisfied in what I chose to do and create for myself. So, and not make it a big deal or put the power into what it looked like, but more so in what I'm doing and deciding on in myself, the energy I'm deciding to emit.
Okay.
That's what it looks like for me.
Okay. I like that. I think too, thinking about by the community guidelines, how we are operating, holding each other accountable, you know, all of those kind of things, like knowing and coming from that initial place of spirit. It does, you know, again, the progression, the self, the family, the community. So I definitely agree with how you are saying it too, about resolving it within my own self, like self-checking. Is very, very important. So I agree with that. And then, what about? So okay, you do okay. So then this is where I want to go next after this, because there's this other part about how relationships are not private, that they belong to the community. So then, when knowing what we learned about how when it comes to men, even feeling like men, it's something that they go through by themselves. Right, and they just kind of get their own check within themselves. I think that is the other part of, or what makes it easier for your relationships to feel private is when you mainly stay within the self. So then, how comfortable are you with talking about the issues and things that come up within your relationship with others? Is that not a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Everybody just thinking.
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay,
just thinking about
let me
it.
just chill. I put the question
Because it's like, you know,
bombard the whole thing.
in Western civilization.
Oh, well,
you
actually,
know.
Shantae said something about the resolve. She said for resolve, you may want to bring it to like a court hearing, and that's actually too what made me kind of think about like the community hearing. Yeah, like a community hearing, like bringing it into discussion. And I think when you bring it up into discussion like that, it also makes more concrete what the community is standing for, or how clearly spirit can be heard.
Yeah. And I think like a big difference is like when you're posing these questions, we have to think about, you know, how we really to feel, you know, and think about it. Okay. And then, you know, what we know, you know, what we're trying to create now. Okay. So it's just like, I'm trying to figure out how to answer this.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you're right.
So it's like, you know, how do we feel expressing these things to the community and being open about it? It's like in the community, like they grew up as children, so like they know each other, and being in these communities, you know, they know that person's characteristics, how they act, if they get mad, if they immature, like they know that about each other. So then having to bring it to the community, you know what, they kind of already know. It's like, y'all together, this is happening in our relationship, this is what we want to talk about. You kind of feel more comfortable doing that, like, but with us knowing each other now, you know, it's like,
different. I was actually going to say something towards that because I think, you know, in all of this, like, of course, ideally, we can be like, oh, it should be like this, you know, and then be like, yeah, that sounds nice, and then in reality, like, the shit's not going to happen because everyone's have reserves and apprehensions and inhibitions and all of that, all those inhibitions. So I think in a lot of instances, then I guess this is where quote unquote type elder figures would come into play, or maybe like, you know, it doesn't have to be a whole community. It could be like one or two people, you know what I mean, to kind of, we can start off on, and like if those two extra people can't help resolve it, then bring it to even a bigger, you know what I'm saying, type crowd, you know what I'm saying, then to come to the court. Because currently it's like, all right, everybody, you know, it's I guess it's just going to kind of so according to the person. Because some people could be more comfortable and don't care like that. Versus some situations, it's like, you don't kind of want that out there. Like, yeah, we all know we people and people do so. But in a sense of helping people grow and it being a level of comfort to even get to that place.
Because we're talking about these trials.
I know.
It's like a trial,
And
right?
we call it a trial. That's the part that makes it scary. It's like, oh.
No, but it's real.
Yeah.
Like, it's real. Like, the book make it sound so, loving. Yeah, you be in the spirit handling it, but that shit don't always feel good.
Yeah.
Handling it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like, you know, it's like, it's real. Like, these gonna be real
Yeah,
feelings.
it's all a part of the
People bring
experience.
it.
It's all part of the experience, man. It's all, I think it's all a whole, it's what love really about. You know,
Yeah.
see people's sides. People got
Yes.
sides. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it's accepting it all because we all one. Like, we all dealing with something on various levels. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Nobody like way ahead of the other person or like that, you know? So, I mean, it's exciting, you know what I'm saying, to actually build these bonds because I think it's the type of bonds that, like, you naturally want to have, like, as a kid, to where you don't have all these discriminations and judgments. You just want to play and have fun and get along. And let's
Yeah.
do more things fun. Let's come together and
Right.
play house. Let's play this. Let's play these games. You know what I'm saying? That's all we really been wanting to do and feel comfortable with doing it. You know, we grow up, society teaches you to be all private. You know what I'm saying? Embarrassed with showing who you are. Like, people can't even be their natural selves because they want to uphold an image. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then people try to clown you if you ain't close to that image that they don't put up in front of you. So, you know, we try and get away from all that and just allow people to live free. Like, start there. So we have to create that within ourselves so we can just be that type of free. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always feel better when you're free.
Yeah, so I agree with all of that. When it comes to, like, it almost feels like, again, like you live in you have these ideas of what would be perfect, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we have all gone through a very different way of living. And so, I think that really, because I was asking Kalila, I'm like, so what made, because, you know, just in doing people hair, nah. Like, the children will come and tell you anything. Like, legit. They have no filter. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They say how they feel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And there's like this real innocence where it's just like, I'm just letting you know this is where I am.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm like, so when is it that it really changed where it's like you don't want to
Be open like that.
be open like that?
Yeah. Because even the other day when we was doing your birthday thing, my mom did her, you know, her prayer
Her
warrior
prayer.
prayer. And Cameron was like, that was
That was
long. Yeah.
But I mean, true.
Right.
But he
did.
was quiet the whole
Yeah.
time. He knew how to be respectful. But
Exactly. Now that we finished,
Yeah, that was finished.
that thing was long,
That
Grandma.
was long prayer. I never experienced anything of that nature. That prayer did something else. But nah, that's funny though. That's real though. Like,
That's real.
that's
Yeah.
how it is.
You know
Like,
what I'm saying? And I
that
really
honesty.
do. I appreciated how we all handled it too, because even though, you know what I'm saying, he was like that thing was long. It was like, yeah, but you need them grandmama first.
yes, like
You know
boy,
what I'm
we
saying?
just went to war.
Exactly.
Come out.
And we winning
You-
now.
Yes, okay, because of this
Because of this
prayer.
long prayer.
We all winning,
Right. You're winning too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you not to like shame him
yeah.
and
Right.
be like, don't say nothing like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Right.
and even in changing that change, so that's what I appreciate about, you know, just seeing it in action, right?
Mhm.
Because I know for us, it would have been like, don't you, you know what I'm saying? Somebody would have grabbed us by the ear or
Yeah.
pinched
You
us
got
under the arm
Try to chop you.
in the mouth. It's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
That's reflexes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what you about to say right now, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So, I think that is one thing that I really do appreciate. Having this sort of kind of free expression from the children and really more so guiding their interactions. Like, you know, I feel you. You feel how you feel. It's a nicer way to say that. Or,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, just sort of guiding them into being better individuals or more, just more compassionate and understanding their words. Yeah, so I mean, I'm like, so really with the judgment, I think, and that feeling of shame is what turns it, what makes it feel like you can't be that open and honest self.
Yeah.
So then how do you check yourself, or how do you keep yourself from judging in the instant? Or do you catch yourself when you be like, oh, I'm being judgy? How do you know when you being like judgy or creating a maybe like an icky feeling environment?
Oh,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, that's
You know.
that's just kind of being conscious of
Of
self.
self-awareness.
Like, you know, when you feeling good or when you like, I know it's a tension. There's always a tension behind it. There's always an uncomfortable feeling with it. Like, you know how it feels when you feeling happy and encouraging versus when you looking at, you know what I'm saying, antagonizing the world or being a
Yes.
critic, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Criticizing your environment. I think you know the difference. Yeah, that's what I was looking at the dialogue too.
I know.
They were
so
saying
I
some
know.
stuff.
Wait, you'll catch us up. It's going.
That's what you got.
It's almost like a side. They having their own thing.
Yeah, they have their own
Our
conversation.
conversation and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're not
They
really-
are.
Well, is it in regards to?
Yeah.
It is. It's about the
Let us know.
They were talking about being open with each other.
yeah, and the council. No, you can have that back. But like, yeah, that's what they're talking about. Being open and communicative about their relationship, and how it's kind of unusual.
We got peoples on here.
And just and I think Shantae is saying that her and Bunkin too
Yeah. It's-
wanted to talk more about it and like just bring it to that. Bunkin called it cancel. But I mean, essentially that's what it is, right? So then I guess too, I was wanting to kind of bring. Oh, we only got 6 more minutes. Wanted to bring it back to self and the spirit and how we connect to it. How we spend time in nature with different spirits and whether or not we're calling them in to be in a space with us and communicate with us. Because really the thing is, I love this book because it talks about the potentials of healthy interactions with people, period. Your family, your community, yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the main thing about this book is being in an intimate space with spirit. Damn, we didn't really get to talk about the sex part, and it's sex. What's next? Sex, the illusion of romance, rituals for renewal. Oh, we talked about that a little bit. Divorce and homosexuality. I do really want to talk about the homosexuality. We don't got time.
We got that for next time.
We got
Yeah.
it for
There can be
next
more
time.
people and everything.
We got one more meeting the third Sunday, that's the 21st.
Mhm.
At 1 to 4. I'm telling y'all, the food be going off.
It
Yeah,
does.
really,
It's
you
good.
know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so
It's
Third
round
Sunday.
2.
Third
Wow.
Sunday.
That's my birthday.
I'm like, oh,
Is
that is your birthday.
You said
You
21st.
said the third
It is
Sunday.
the 21st.
Yes, it is. Oh.
It
Yes,
is.
Today's the 7th.
It's the 21st. We having book club meeting on your birthday. You gonna lead it?
Oh,
Oh, I like that. What?
that's crazy.
What? It's only 1 to 4 anyway.
1 to 4. It's already
How
over.
about that? Let's
Oh,
see.
for real.
Okay,
We'll
but
think
It's
about
already
it.
not being open.
But then, actually, we do need to talk about
We'll see about that. We'll see what unfolds.
that first Sunday in April. I'm gonna be in town
The first Sunday in April.
in April.
Well, I my birthday April 2nd.
It is. So you gonna host up one?
Girl, we
Look
not.
at you. Huh?
Yeah.
What happened?
That is crazy.
Look at her. That's pumping.
If we doing birthdays, my birthday was on Thursday. I've hosted this one. Do that count?
No.
Why?
Right.
That do count. I don't know. Should I call Shantae? She was asking if I should call her.
What?
She said she asked me if I need to call her. I think she had some more of something that she wanted to add.
Well, we got 3 minutes.
Well,
Does it
call
turn off
her, 'cause I
automatically?
definitely got to
No,
eat
I think
some
it'll
more
still
of
be. DG got to cut it out. Wait a minute. What was
Just
I
the time my birthday about to be lit.
Oh, that's what I was looking at the calendar. That is yours, Kendra, for real.
What? My birthday?
Yeah, it's the 4th. Oh, that's Easter Sunday.
Oh, it is.
No,
Cause
I'm
I
not
know my
gonna
birthday
cancel
on
it.
Friday. It's the
Your
second.
birthday is on Friday.
What? Y'all, I'm excited.
So I mean, we can host birthday. Whoever the birthday what's that word?
Celebratory.
Yeah, it can be they can host.
That's wild.
You don't think so?
I think that's a good idea when my birthday coming on her. That's a good idea when my birthday coming.
Why
My
not?
birthday just came. It was just my
What's wrong
birthday.
with you leading?
Look at you. Okay, so that means you leading the next one then.
That mean, yep, right on after
Yeah,
you.
'cause it's
Show
birthday.
them.
I guess,
Yep.
man. I mean, that's how it is.
Okay, that's how it is then.
That's wild.
Oh, Bunkin said he'd like to ask a question about behavior.
That's saying that.
Tell them shoot.
He said, I like to ask questions about behavior instead of saying behavior is wrong. I'd rather think about it than judge you off of what I think is impulse. If you have a reason for it, perspective is key.
Very true.
Oh, because this go back to my question about filtering your, let me go back in these comments.
We're not doing that, girl. Keeping up with the comments.
I know, I wish I was here.
I was saying we need to.
I am happy
Next
that
time
we,
probably can put on a Zoom call.
I know, but I'm happy that we can,
That's
we can
true.
at least have a chat.
And then they can raise their hand on the Zoom call.
Or you can just see them. They can talk.
No, we can't just let them just talk like that.
Or make sure y'all raise y'all hands.
Yeah. Where the peaches at? I'm about to get me one more.
Sandy said, this is where Sandy started it off. She said, we operate from fear most instinctively. Children have no fear at first, so they
Right.
overshare. As your parents tell you there is a reason not to do so, you filter from fear. Oh,
Hey,
shit.
See, all black like a ninja for real.
Oh.
Scared me.
You want me both?
Ooh, you did that. Oh, it wasn't me or you.
It's crazy.
Yes.
I never do it.
Now you can't go and say no.
It's the first time for everything, right?
Girl. Casey can do it
And then it
now.
just said so much.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm gonna make next.
Chuck said she wants some of this stuff.
Tell Chuck that she should.
She should have came.
Damn near vegan.
Damn near vegan. Okay, is that it? Do anybody have any? So we say we gonna finish this discussion next week, is what y'all saying?
Yeah, we have to.
Next meeting.
Yes,
Because we
too much
didn't
time.
get-
And there need to be more people too to really
We
have
supposed to
those
do all the
conversations.
chapters.
So.
We did 2 of them.
We did good.
Hey, how long after this?
It was like there's people, but the answer was so much more in depth. In depth.
And that,
We owed all those
and
answers.
that, well, we owed it to him.
Yeah, all them answers. All of them were due.
You was right on the Leo. You was right. We did owe it to him.
Yeah, we owed it to them.
And then,
Stu.
You know, that's my accent.
okay, so not next Sunday. The next book club meeting will be
He said, "Oh, your birthday."
Ultra's birthday,
My
Is
birthday.
it? Oh, it's on.
March 21st, from 1 to 4.
Ultra hosted.
Ultra's
no.
hosting
Hey, don't be putting that on no announcement.
in
like
this
that, though.
place right here.
That ain't solid.
That ain't solid.
I might be cooking.
Ain't nobody be somebody.
Mhm.
I don't know yet.
Oh, you cooking.
This kale salad going off.
Oh, the whole thing in there.
But all they blessings.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll hopefully can really finish then. That's my goal, to be done with the book. But we'll keep talking
Yeah.
and see how it goes.
Yeah.
See what spirits say.
See
Yeah.
what spirits say. We might still need to be discussing it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about how to grow this community.
Talking about how to grow this community, because that's what we're doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what we're doing it for.
It's for the kids.
For the children.
What is this, a whip?
Don't. It's only. I should still be able to take some home because it ain't that many of us.
This the whip. I ain't putting the whip on it.
That's that lemon aioli sauce
Yeah,
that
I
your girl
wondered.
made.
I was wondering if it
Made the lemon aioli from
Who
scratch.
did that?
I did that
Let me take that. I ain't whipping
with the
up.
vegan eggs, so it's vegan aioli.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Who's
welcome.
The sauce.
oh saucy.
Dripping and stuff.
This one was a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Housewives.
The sauce on it.
Get snatched.
Did you? We done.
Okay.
Thank you.